Hi everyone, it's Cheryl here from ideasforcardmaking.net and I'm here today for Couture Creations. I'm going to do a little bit of off the page today. I saw this technique and I just thought I'd give it a try. I haven't actually tried it myself, so this is the first time I'm going to try it. I'll just very quickly go through the products that I'm using, which are, this is from You Go Girl. I'll just put that there so you can see it. So I'm using the Stamp of the Girl, which I've already stamped out using the Stays in Place alcohol ink pad. I use the Precision Stamp Press for that. So I'll put that aside out of the way now. I've used alcohol ink paper in the A4 size, and I think that's no, it's not A5, it's a smaller size. So I've used that. That's what I used for this piece I stamped out. I did that just to save a bit of time. I've stamped out the You Go Girl also from that stamp set. Whoop. So I'll put all that aside now. Excuse me. There's the, oh sorry, I forgot to show you. That's these little bits here. Let's make that easier to see. These little bits here, little, I don't know what you call them, dots, whatever. So I'm going to be stamping that, and I've done that using the Couture Creations grid. My brain has gone. I can't think of the name of them. I'll put that down later, sorry. Okay, so this is my art journal, which I haven't touched for a very long time. What I have done, I'm just trying to open the page. What I've done is I have glued down some of a sheet of the alcohol ink paper, because I'm going to be using alcohol inks on there. I could do it directly into the art journal, but I'd need to put gesso, and I'm not sure how this technique will go with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'll just move this out of the way. The technique is stamping with Vaseline. Now, I have never done this. I saw it on a video and I thought I'd give it a try. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a bit out. I don't know how much of this I'm going to need. So I'll just put some here on my mixed media glass tray. I have got a sponge that I bought for a couple of dollars at the $2 shop. And what I'm now going to do, what have I done with my stamp? There it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover that sponge with the Vaseline, and then I'm going to stamp on the stamp. Sorry, I'm going to put the Vaseline on the stamp. And then I am going to stamp. Now you can't see that. I'm sure you can't see that. Oh, you might. Yeah, can you see that now? Okay. So what it's going to do, it's going to work like a resist background. So let's give that another go. I think you can probably get a couple of impressions out of that. So, yep. I'm sorry if you can't see this at the moment. I can't really do a lot about it because it's on white. I might have been, I probably should have done it on the black, but on the black alcohol ink paper, but I don't know how well the inks that I was going to use will show up. So I'm just stamping here and there. I'll clean this up in a minute. I'm getting 2 or 3 impressions from this with each re-inking, if you like to call it that, of the Vaseline. And I'm just kind of turning it in different directions and going all over the page. It is very hard to see even from my angle. And what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying not to go over the same spot again. Nearly did that time. I think I'm done. I'll just see if I can hold it up so you can see it a bit better. I think you can, here, you should be able to see that. So you can kind of see what's happened there. So I'll just give that a minute. I'll just clean all of this Vaseline off in the meantime. I've just used a cheap spatula to dish that out. I'm just going to give that a quick clean. If you clean your stamps off with some warm soapy water, not too harsh of a soap, probably something like a soft, a gentle dishwashing liquid should do it. Now this is going to be the trick, getting off as much of that as I can. So, as I said, this is going to work like a resist technique. Can you see? I'm just going to bring that down a little bit more. So when we put the alcohol inks on, you won't see it straight away, but it will actually resist that. I'm just going to put some paper towel underneath in case it seeps down through those pages, because I don't want to wreck the other pages I've got there. So I'm just covering that up as best as I can. I'm not really that worried if it gets on that side. I'll put a bit of paper towel there, but it doesn't really bother me, to be honest, because I'll show you what I've done on some of the other pages. Is I just make backgrounds with whatever leftover inks, or I think that's the only one I've done it on. Yeah, so whatever leftover inks or alcohol inks or whatever, I make backgrounds with it. So it's not going to worry me. Okay, let's see how we go here. So you do it just exactly the same as what you do with any of your other alcohol inks. I'm just trying, whoops, just finding some colours. So I've got, these are pearl. I've got some of the Golden Age ones as well. Just keep in mind, if you use the Golden Age, they are quite transparent, so you're not going to get the darker colours. I think I'm probably going to use the Golden Age on the stamped out image that I've got here, because I want to cut that out and put that in the middle. You'll see that after, but I'm probably going to put Golden Age on there because I'm not going to colour it. I'm just going to cover it with alcohol inks. Anyway, we'll put that aside for now. Excuse me, I'm really croaky today. Okay, where's my other pearl colours? So I've got Lake, Fern, Bubblegum. That's Fern as well. What else have I got? That one's Imperial. So that's the pearl colours I've got. I like to use gold. I should give all of these a really good shake. I've also got my blending solution that I'll be using. Excuse me. Okay, I think that's all the pearl colours I've got. Okay, let's start with Bubblegum. And I'm just going to put bits here and there. Now you're not going to see the resist until later. Just move those out of the way. We'll do a bit of blue. I know it looks a mess at the moment. I might put a bit of blending solution on so it starts moving. I'm just going to put that here, there and everywhere. You don't need to use a ton of that. A little bit of green. As you can see, when I put the green down, that because I've got blending solution, it's moving better. A bit more there. I'm going to put some gold. If I push it hard enough, it might actually open for me. I'll put some gold. I like my gold. All right, now I'm going to get my blower for my alcoholing, so I'm going to move that around a bit. Here comes my dog come to see me. She's not very happy because we've had a lot of thunder today and she's scared of the thunder. I'll put a bit more colour in that. Put a bit more of the bubble gum. Put it in the places that haven't got much bubble gum. I'm going to put a bit more of the blending solution, which will help it move. Even after your alcoholics have dried a bit, the blending solution will still help them to move around. I would like to get a reasonable amount of coverage of this page. Now can you see here, you can see in a few spots there the resist is already happening, but it actually will be better once the alcoholics dry off a little bit. So not until we're finished here will that happen. I'm going to put some more gold here, a bit more there, a bit more there. I'm going to put some more alcohol inks on in a minute because I really want a bit more. I've got too many gaps. I can actually tip that a little bit and you can see it's moving. There's the thunder again and my dog's sitting behind me. She's not happy. All right, let's get a bit of this Imperial. I haven't got any of that on there yet. So put some of that. It's a much deeper colour, as you can see. Some there, some there. Put some in there. Put some in there as well. Just get a bit more here. I want to get some of those gaps filled up. I'm not worried if I don't get it corner to corner. That's not worrying me at all. Sometimes I think that really that makes it a bit better. I'll put a bit more green here. You can mix your pearls and your transparent colours. There is absolutely nothing stopping you from doing that. It really depends on what effect you're trying to get. I'll put a bit more gold here. A bit there, a bit there. If you've seen me doing these alcoholics before, you'll know I absolutely adore the gold. I love the effect that you get with the gold. Now, all these white spots you're seeing, that's the resist from the Vaseline we've put on using the foam roller. Now, it doesn't have to be one of those rollers. You can use, I can't think of the name of them, but the ones where they have a stick and then there's a flat sort of a wedge type flatness to it. That works as well. Or honestly, I think if you had a clean dish sponge, something like that would work. Just something that you can get the Vaseline on. So even just a piece of sponge, even a makeup sponge might work, I don't know. But I think anything where you can get that sponge onto getting it onto your stamp, that's the thing. Now this picture is going to probably go, I might even put it down the corner. It's either going to go in the centre or maybe down in the corner. So I still want a bit more ink here. Let's see, maybe a bit of blue here. A bit alcohol ink I meant, not just ink. I don't really care, as I said before, I don't care if it's not corner to corner, but I'd like a lot of the page covered up. I know what I might do. I might put some of these transparent ones on as well, just to give it a different, just to give it a different colour. We'll get that off before it stains on there. Not that I really worry about stains and mess too much, as you can probably tell. I might go, what colours have I got? I'm just looking at my Golden Age. What have I got that's totally different? Pumpkin? Oh, lilac? I got some lilac. This is one of the transparent ones. A bit there. I'll put a bit of pumpkin because that's a totally different colour as well. I may have to put a bit more of the blending solution here and there. Alright, let's have a look. Just splatter that a bit. Where else did I put it there? There's the lilac, more lilac. I love the sparkle from the Golden Age alcohol inks. It's one of the reasons I absolutely adore the gold, because I love the sparkle you get from it. I'm going to put, I did dip that accidentally then. I'm going to put a little bit of apple over here. See that? Can you see that sparkle as I'm laying it down? It's just gorgeous. I love it. I love it. Nope, I've got that all over the other page. It doesn't matter. As I said before, it's the beginning of a background. Okay. I didn't shake that very much, I don't think. Give it a bit more of a shake. So I want more of it up here. What else have I got? Cardinal, cappuccino, blue, burgundy. Oh, a bit of khaki. Have a look at the khaki. See how that looks. So I haven't got any of that there either. Oops. Yep. Okay. Let's put a bit of blending solution there. Put a bit too much actually. That's all right. Yeah, I'm a messy crafter. I can't help it. How are we going now? I think that might be pretty good. Okay, it's quite dry in some places, but I'm just going to move that aside. Just let that lean for a minute to dry. Okay, what did I do with, there it is, the stamped image. So I just grabbed that. So now, what I might do before I do anything else, I might just chop that up, cut that out, ready to go on my page. I should have done it before to save a bit of time. I'm just going to get the most out of this because I can use this for tags and things. This is again the alcohol ink paper. As you can see, this is a Couture Creations guillotine, and I just find it so good because it cuts really great, really sharp and clean. Cuts like butter. Okay, let's go. Excuse me. Now, what am I going to put on here? I'm not going to colour it in. I'm just going to cover it. Is basically what I'm going to do. I will put some gold, but I'll just leave that for now. I think I'm going to go for all the transparent colours because I don't want to cover up that image. So let's have a look. Pumpkin. I'm going to try and make it for a hair, but I don't know how successful I'm going to be with keeping it in the bounds of the hair. I guess we shall see, hey? I'll just put a little bit. I don't want too much because I don't want it to spread everywhere. This is what I'm looking for. See what's happening there? I'm going to just try and take a bit of that off, but I'm not too worried about it. The problem is, I think if you dab at it too much like I'm doing, I think it may take off some of the stamped part of it. Because of the blending solution, I'm not really sure, to be honest. Okay. Oh, it is a little bit of a mess, isn't it? Okay. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not real happy with that, but I can't do a lot about it. I'll put a little bit of... No, I don't want that one. I want my transparent baby blue. Put a bit of that on there. A bit there. A bit down here. I'm not really that worried if it all mixes in together because it really is... I mean, it is an alcohol ink project. Trying to get it up into that corner there. What have I got in these other transparent ones? Let me just see. Maybe a bit of cardamom, a bit of red. Drop on the heart and see how that goes. As I said, I'm not really worried about trying to get it as the various parts like the hair or anything like that. I really just want it to be coloured. That's it. I think I might leave it at that because we want to be able to see her face. So I'll put that one aside now and let that dry. So I'm just going to move that over there. Put the lid back on the... Oh, that's not the lid to that. I think that's the lid to the pumpkin. Yep, that's the lid to the pumpkin. Put that on the blending solution. Oh, I've got pumpkin on the blending solution top. Okay. We'll see how this art journal is going here. It's not quite dry, but it's nearly there. Bits up here are nearly dry. I don't know if it's just going to splotch if I do that. I might just turn the camera off and let that dry properly because I'm not sure how long that's going to take. because I've put that on fairly thick there, and I'll come back to it when it's dry. Okay, so I'm going to give this another try. I wasn't 100% happy with the results from the art journal, so I've done this again, but this time I've done it. It's just on one of the smaller size of the alcoholing paper. As you can see, I have been really heavy-handed with the Vaseline this time. I've actually got a bit down under here, so I hope that's not going to be too much of a problem. So I'm just going to give it another go. As you can see, I've got a ton of Vaseline left here. I'm just going to leave that there for the moment. So we'll start off again. I'll see how we go this time. I'll just readjust that a little bit so you get a bit better picture. Okay. And we'll start over and just see how we go this time. I think I might have used too small of a stamp, or something with the details that weren't really good, really big enough, I should say. So that's why I've gone for this particular stamp. This is from the Homely Florals collection. So I'm going to start off with the baby blue, and this one is from the Golden Age. So this one's a more transparent one, and we'll just see how that goes. I think some of the colours I used last time might have been a bit heavy-handed for this particular technique. So we'll just see how it goes. So I'm picking out, these are all the colours I used before. I'm just going to pick out the Golden Age ones this time. Just move all these pearl ones aside. I might leave the khaki one because that's a bit darker. I don't want anything too dark. There's apple. Alright, so let's try with all these ones and we'll just see how we go. So I've just used the baby blue. Here's a bit of pumpkin. I might put a bit too much there, but that's okay. I'll spread all this around in a minute. Lilac. I'm not trying to get anything in any particular spot. Just have a bit of a mash of colours. Apple. I haven't put any of the cardinal on yet because that's a bit darker. We'll just see how we go with these lighter colours to start with. And lilac. Did I put lilac? Yes, it looks like I did. I'll put some gold on now, and then I'll put some blending solution on and see how we go. Get things moving a bit. Whoops. Got a lot of gold there, but that's all right. That's all going to move in a minute anyway. Get some blending solution. I might have put a bit too much of that too. Okay, let's give it a bit of a blow around. Whoops. Now I want the entire picture covered. I will trim this down after because I'm more likely than not I'll make this into a card down the track. I think I've got a bit too much gold on that. I'll fix that in a minute. I mean, I like the gold. As I said earlier, I love the gold, but I also want some of these other colours to show. And you see the picture at the back there? In the background, it's from the stamping. I'm just getting rid of a bit of this gold. Just want to move it down a little bit so that I've got, see all the beautiful sparkle in there. I just wanted to get some of that gold off because I want to put a bit more of these transparent colours, these Golden Age colours. Put some more blue. A little dot there. I think that's actually the Vaseline where it's separating there. get some more lilac. I still haven't used the cardinal. I think I'm just going to leave the cardinal lilac. Look at the picture coming up there. Just loving that. Now, this is going to take ages to dry because I've absolutely smothered it. Which you really don't need to do that. I'll just give that a bit more of a move around. Okay, just going to move a little bit more of that gold there, and I might just put, I'll put a little bit of pumpkin there because there's a lot of blue there. So just get a bit of pumpkin. I'll put a bit of pumpkin up here too, just to give it a bit more colour. I don't need to put any more blending solution because there's just so much on there. Now that is going to take quite a while to dry, so I will put that aside and I'll turn off the camera in a minute and I'll come back to that. But I just want you to see that. You see that image underneath? I think that's what I was lacking before. I don't think I had enough Vaseline on it. I'll show you the art journal in just a second. I'll just move this one aside to dry. I'll just put a bit of paper towel over that Vaseline because I do not want it all over my art journal. And I'll bring the art journal back. Sorry, I haven't planned all this very well. Right, there's the art journal. I've actually finished it. Excuse me. Now what I did, as you can see, it hasn't come out anywhere near as good as what I was hoping. It's just sort of blotchy. But all I did was just go over it like this. But I left this to dry for a long time. So I just went over it. It's still removing a little bit. But you've got to make sure it's totally dry or you'll have what I had here. I don't know if you can see that. Down the bottom there, where it actually smudged a bit. And I do think that this is dependent on how much of the Vaseline you put on. I don't think I had it thick enough, and I don't think the stamp was big enough for what I wanted to do. So just basically buff it. It's just like using your embossing powders. You can do this sort of thing with embossing powders with various other mediums. I don't know about alcoholics. I've never tried it. So anyway, that's what I got. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I've achieved what I wanted to see. Whether you could do that, the resist technique with the stamps. So what I did, that's the image that you saw that I did in the video. Let's move that up a bit so you can see that a bit better. I've just put some gold foil around that, so I've just set it on the board, so it's got a border, and I've done the same with this, and these are all both from the Go Girl set. So now I need to leave that other piece to dry with the Homely Florals collection. That's still quite wet. I'll just show you. It's still very wet. I don't know if you can see that, particularly on the edge there. It's very, very wet. It's just drowning because I've put so much on it. So I'll let that dry. I'll turn the camera off, and then when it's dry, I'll come back to it and I'll buff it up, and we'll see how that one goes. Okay, so I'm back again. I've let this dry for absolutely ages, just because I had other things to do. So as you can see, I've just started to buff this. I've just got this is actually a baby wipe that I use for something else. I've just let it dry out. You could easily use paper towel or a tissue. And I'm just gently going over, and you can see this has worked far better than the initial one that I did. I might actually move the art journal because I think you're getting a bit of reflection from that with the light. So I'll move that out of the way. Oh, that's still got the Vaseline under there. And I'll just continue to work. Some parts are not as clear as others. And I actually think it might be more where I had a lot of gold, because the gold's actually thicker than some of the other golden age alcohol inks. Sorry, I can't really think when I'm doing this. Okay, so you can see that that's all coming through. There's lots of the alcohol ink coming off. I might just go to a clean spot and do that. Do a little bit more. Yep, see, there's a bit more coming through now. But you can see the image has actually come through much, much clearer on this. I'm actually putting a bit of pressure on. I'm not doing really gentle because I want that white to come through better. So this is really the sort of thing that you do when you're using embossing powder for this same sort of technique, but I've used the Vaseline instead. So I'm not unhappy about that. I don't think I'm going to get much more off that. I'm pretty impressed with that because I'd never heard of this, and I only recently found out about this technique and thought I'd give it a go. I'll just see if I can give you a better look at that, because back there you can't really see it very well. So that's it. So I'll probably make that into a card. You can see there, I actually went to do this a lot earlier and I smeared it because it wasn't dry enough. So one thing that I do suggest you do before you start rubbing with the baby wipe or whatever, just on the sides, just make sure that it's not still slightly wet, because sometimes it looks like it's dry and it's not quite dry enough for this technique. But the alcohol inks do dry very quickly. But for something like this, it needs to be bone dry because you're going to be rubbing across it. You see all that sparkle? Just trying to give you a better look at that. Anyway, that's it. I'll make that into a card. I mean, that was a pretty easy technique. So if you've got some Vaseline in the house, well, I actually had to go out and buy some because it's years and years since I've used Vaseline. But you can pick it up for just a few dollars at the supermarket. But that's it. That's the technique. Thanks for watching.